This video is brought to you by CoolStuffInc.com, where you can find cool stuff in stock.
Hello and welcome back to another day in the arena. It's me, it's CGB. Today we're going to be playing Brawl, and we're going to be continuing the Elder Dragon March with the Quandrix, aka Simic Dragon, TANAZIR. TANAZIR Quandrix is 3 and a green and a blue for a 4/4 Elder Dragon Mythic Flying Trample, and when it enters the battlefield, double the number of +1/+1 counters on target creature you control. I wonder if that means we're going to have some +1/+1 counters. Whenever TANAZIR Quandrix attacks, you may have the base power and toughness of other creatures you control become equal to TANAZIR Quandrix's power and toughness until end of turn. So, for this deck, there are a few ways to meme it. You can run all the cards with the +1/+1 counters on them. You can also run a whole bunch of cards that put more +1/+1 counters on things, like Invigorating Surge and Hydra's Growth. And if you want to play that kind of brawl, what I call the meme brawl, you can go ahead and do that. You can go all in on that kind of theme and try to create the most +1/+1 counters in the history of the +1/+1 counter world. I think most of you out there who know me know that that's not how I like to roll. I like to build balanced decks to win games in an unbalanced way. I like to play very, very, very nasty interactive decks. So for me, it was about building a deck that both had a good amount of Simic aggression, a little bit of +1/+1 counter synergy so that we got value off the ETB, and just ways that we can control the most popular commanders in the format while also getting to do our dragon thing. So this is what I came up with. First column here, these are things that use and make and somehow involve the +1/+1 counters. Snakeskin Veil is a great one. You can protect your big dragon, or you can protect the creature before the big dragon. Swarm Shambler makes a ton of sense. The Ozolith, I think everybody probably knew that this had a chance of making the cut here. Dragon's Guard Elite. This one I really like. With Magecraft, you get to add a +1/+1 counter for free, and for 4 green, you get to double the number of counters on the Elite. It does require that we play a good amount of instants and sorceries. I'm usually down for that. Quirion Dryad is another fun way to get free counters. Whenever you cast a spell that's white, doesn't count. Black, nope. Red, nope. This is Brawl. We're bound by the way that the color identity works. But blue, yes. Whenever we cast a blue spell, put a +1/+1 counter on Quirion Dryad for free. Then we have Scavenging Ooze. That's a good one. Just eat graveyards. Nadir Kraken is a fun one. For 1 and a blue. Whenever we draw a card, we may pay 1, put a +1/+1 counter on the Kraken, and we get a Tentacle. Sign me up. Then we get a Kazmina with the Enigma Sage, which has the -X to create fractals with +1/+1 counters, and that's the primary reason that the Enigma Sage makes the cut here. Manifestation Sage makes a 0/0 blue fractal with +1/+1 counters for the number of cards in your hand. That's sweet. And then we have Stonecoil Serpent, which that is +1/+1 counters. It's +1/+1 incarnate, along with Wildward Scourge, which when we have a lot of other non-Hydra things gaining counters is a good one. And then we have another Hydra, which you can remove the counters from this to destroy artifacts or enchantments. Pretty good card in Commander as well as in Brawl. So those are my +1/+1 counter cards. A lot of what you might have expected missing from there, and that's the way I want to do it. I like having kind of a small package of cheap but potentially very effective cards to run that part of the synergy. Then I play the interactive spells. Disdainful Stroke, Essence Scatter, Lofty Denial. This is a dragon after all, so well, it might counter things pretty often. Whenever I have a flying commander, I'm more likely to run the Lofty Denial. Here, I think it's the only flyer, which is both kind of funny and kind of sad. The last dragon over here. I guess we have a Shark Typhoon, but for the most part, you try to line this up to protect your commander. And then we have Negate, which there's just a good counter spell. Reject is one I'm getting more into for Brawl because it hits every commander unless they somehow like play the enchantment side of Isika, something like that. Decisive Denial hits a lot of spells and is a good fight spell. Mystical Dispute hits the 5-color commanders unless they're Cody. Quandrix Command interacts and moves +1/+1 counters around, so it's perfect. Then we get into the card advantage cards. We need a lot of ways to draw. I also put Ramp in this category. Ghostly Pilferer is a great draw engine in Commander because every time they cast the commander, you draw. Emergent Sequence is a good one. Once Upon a Time, Arcane Signet, Tome of Legends, Kazima. It's so I can't. Kazmina, Kazuma. Kazmina, Kazuma. It's a hard life, okay? You don't understand the trials I go through talking to this camera. Uro, the Titan of Nature's Wrath. So some sweet ways to get cards. Then we have the heavy hitters, the heavies, the Bring It On Homes, the Shark Typhoon, Vorinclex, the Monstrous Raider. That's pretty fun with +1/+1 counters. We've got the Body of Research to make an ultra mega fractal. We've got Alrund's Epiphany. We have Ugin the Spirit Dragon, and we have the Great Henge. So mostly a Simic good stuff deck. In the mana base, I've got a few fun odds and ends that interact with +1/+1 counters. Crawling Barrens, Hall of Oracles is a nice one, and Tyrite Sanctum. All of these do a little bit more with +1/+1 counters than the typical, and so does Turn Timber Symbiosis. So that's the introduction to the deck. We're going to try to go out there, have a good time with some Simic Dragon nonsense. Is it going to be as good as a Koma or an Uro? Probably not, but we are completing the cycle as we mean to do. Today's video is dedicated to Rochelle Kantov, and thank you very much for hitting the join button below and supporting the channel by being a Cool Kids Club member. You get some exclusive perks, and you might get a video and cosmetic purchase dedicated to you. Do we have any sweet ones today? Do we have any that we've been waiting to buy, that we have been playing more and more, possibly from the new set, maybe? The Ghostly Pilfer is really tempting. So is Emergent Sequence, because that's going to be around for a long time. Once Upon a Time is banned, but I get to play it in all of my Brawl decks. Let's do it. Once Upon a Time. Banned card warning. Hell yeah. That's just how enthusiastic I am every time somebody joins the dojo. Now let's dive in. Let the nonsense begin. Simic Showdown. Who is Jadzi? Yeah, Jadzi, Oracle of Octavia. It both lets you ramp by putting cards from your hand onto the battlefield, and it also just pops off in the late game. So hopefully we'll see this thing go to work. Could be very exciting. Do we keep a hand with the Great Henge and the Toma Legends and the Pilfer? I think so. It's a good curve. So we can go for it. We can go for it. The Pilfer, with the ability to draw a card anytime they cast a spell from somewhere other than their hand, like, I don't know, the Command Zone. Something I'm learning to appreciate a lot more in Commander. Opponent with a perfect start. Oh, I'll match you. Nothing like having both of your colors available. So Ghostly Pilfer, when we discard a card, it becomes unblockable, which is cool. We draw a card whenever they play something from their Command Zone, the Adventure Zone, or anything like that, the Graveyard, an escape card, and when it becomes untapped, we can pay 2 to draw a card, if we wish to. So do we get Kazmina down? They can't Disdainful Stroke us next turn. We could get the Tome down, but I think getting the Loyalty ticking on the Planeswalker is better. Our best line to the Great Henge is to make a Fractal with the Kazmina and then play it, so tempting to keep a land, actually. Like, I'm not missing much. Keeping a land, just making sure that we curve out from here is totally fine. Teferi's Tutelage. Well, fine, I won't keep the land. Okay, then. I wonder how that and Jadzi play together. Discarding Starix. I'm really curious if there's just some pop-off combo that the opponent has. I'm not going to pay 2 because my plan is to deploy Tome of Legends, leave up Disdainful Stroke. So don't draw a card just every time you get a chance, just because you can. The Kraken. It gets milled, so let's put it on the bottom. We could draw it with the Tome, but we won't get to leave Stroke open. My library. Opponent, what are you doing to my deck? Stop. Stop in the name of, I don't know, Kazmina. How are we going to deal with this? Just have to kill him first, I guess. We lost our Quandrix command. It's one kind of cheap bailout card against Mill. Brazen Borrower to bounce Kazmina. Kazmina. I always want to say Kazuma since that's also now a legend. So be it. No land? Oh, when you miss your land drops in Brawl, come on now. That's a good draw. Maybe I should have tried drawing that first. Let's decline. Emergent Sequence is a ramp card. That's nice. So we will play you. Go get an island. Make a 2/2. Do we deploy you? I think we hold up counter magic again. Although Disdainful Stroke doesn't really matter here. Yeah, what can they actually do to me? Let's go for it. Let's be aggressive. We're up 6 lands on them. Let's progress our board. And if we're gonna get milled, make it a land. It's fine.
We must prepare for tomorrow.
Not my Ugin. Not many ways to deal with this. All right, they drew land drop 4. Let's see if they can punish me for the tap out here. The answer is no, they cannot. Or they will not, at least. So I'm not going for a TANAZIR QUANDRIX, I don't think. Well, we could probably force it through a counterspell. We have Dispute. And then possibly a Great Henge. Yeah, let's go for the commander. Whoa! The mill is taking it apart though. Just kidding. Let's go. Commander time. Essence Scatter. Mystical Dispute. The one and only. Double the number of counters on the island because the other one doesn't have any counters, so it wouldn't do much. Let's scry up what we're throwing away to the mill. 1 land, sure. Attack for another deuce. And let's see if the opponent can deal with a board now that there's stuff on the battlefield. If they do, we can follow up with a body of research, which is very much like a one-hit kill. And then our Kazmina is really close to ultimating. Okay, they did nothing, which tells me bounce, counter, annoying stuff. We're going to decline once again on the card draw because we need to do stuff with our mana. We have pretty cool options. Uh-oh. Opponent got the rope out. They pulled out the mighty rope. Decline. Land is good. Land is good. I like this threatening to get Alrund's Epiphany. That's pretty sweet. If it's still in the library. Still is at this moment. Let's try to attack, because if we get to double, if we set the base power, it's going to be an 8/8, making the henge cheaper. And of course, a tome for the Tome of Legends. What a book, the Tome of Legends. Full of legends like TANAZIR QUANDRIX. Full of legends like our opponent, who just scoops when they realize the pain that they're going to suffer. Zwiz, running the commander that is green and black, and you can play it on turn 1. That's pretty, you know, a turn 1 commander. That's a thing, and we have to mulligan this because we don't have any green. We have green through the Signet on the draw. Pretty slow. I guess we try it. Better than going to 6, I think. Most of the time. And wah! You are under pressure. Valentin, Dean of the Vein, is already here with Menace and Lifelink, and if a non-token creature I control dies, it gets exiled. They can pay 2 for a pest. No 2-drop. Do not blow up my Signet. The Signet is all I have in this world. I love it dearly. Do not mess with my Signet. If you mess with my Signet, I may have to resign. Veto. Makes the clock a little quicker. Still not a fast clock, though. All right. Green. Tapped green. Can play Kazmina and tick it up. That may distract the opponent. It is a lot of loyalty. 2 power versus 4 loyalty, and we can try to scry to more land. Pretty much everything that is land is acceptable, as we try to figure out how we're going to fight this life-gaining assault. Our opponent is really good at life gain. All right, Marauding Blood Priest. Whenever you gain life, each opponent loses 1 life. Gross. Very gross. All right, we can have 6 mana, so we can play Manifestation Sage and Dragon's Guard Elite. Guess that's fine. Play this first because the Fractal has stats equal to the cards in hand. Play this second. Plus. And now we have a battlefield. More land. Thank you.
We must prepare for tomorrow.
Now we'll see how the opponent does at interacting with a battlefield. They haven't been required to deal with me having creatures yet. It's been X's and O's for them. Honor Troll. Thick. Thick Honor Troll. I have to remember to use this more often now, since it comes out as a 3-mana 4/4 no matter what. Next turn's interesting. Can't play the Body of Research because of the Crawling Barrens. Can foretell the Epiphany. Can play the Tanazir, but nothing else. Can hold up Lofty Denial, but we don't have a flyer. So it's a weirdly awkward turn. We can make this an 8/8 with the Quandrix. That's not bad. But I really do want another land. Let's start with the plus and see what we see. It's not a land, it's a Shark Typhoon. You can't draw into it this turn, but it can instant speed make a flyer for the denial in the future. I'm not going to put away a card like Shark Typhoon. It's too strong. Body of Research can hang out. All right. This is tough. This is tough. The extra mana here doesn't really do anything. So I think we let the shields down. If the opponent could have killed something last turn, they probably would have. I think we let the shields down here and just drop our dragon and double up this to an 8/8. And we could attack. It's not a bad attack. The opponent held back last turn. Getting their Honor Troll shrunk is something. Getting them to attack Kazmina is something. They'll probably kill this if they have a spell. But they don't have to if we attack with it. We still have Alrund's Epiphany, though. I'm worried about what next turn is like, and I think adding some pressure to the board makes them at least slow down being super aggressive, but we'll see. Next turn is like make a shark and counter something, but that means whatever they get to do this turn, I'm not going to interact with. Whatever they do this turn is going to stick. Tabarex, Hope's Demise. Lifelink, as long as you have 5 counters on it. Whenever a non-token creature dies, put a counter on it. If it was a cleric, you draw a card. All right. Any clerics? I guess there are a couple clerics here. Interesting. The opponent wants to gain life here. And they want this to die. I mean, I'll make them play it again, I think. No, we should just take it. Because if they play it again, it can be the Dean of the Root. Although that would take up most of their turn. Maybe that's what they want. All right. We're in a good spot now. Lofty Denial is a counter. Stonecoil Serpent. I think that's a little off plan. Although very powerful. And let's pass the turn. Maybe I was supposed to attack with the 8/8 again. Since we're about to double attack with the Time Walk. I don't know. We also have Body of the Research here, and usually what I like to do is use Kazmina to go get Alrund's Epiphany and then play the Body of Research, or vice versa, but we have both in our hand, which is awkward. So what's the big spell we can go get? I can't look at my library. I should add that to Arena so I don't have to use... But hey, MTGA Assistant, download link in the description. Check out your own library. Big Pog. Seagate Restoration would be nice. Quandrix Command could be interesting. Eternal Thirst has lifelink, and whenever a creature an opponent controls dies, put a counter on it. Okay. I'm not scared of that, so I can save my Lofty Denial. Oops, forgot to make a shark. I got caught up in the moment. Misplay City. I guess I'll keep plussing. The Kraken. Release the Kraken. Okay. Here's my tome. And go? I don't know, they're holding back now, but we have a Kazmina and an extra turn coming, so I think just defending this will get us there. Kraken doesn't really do much for us here, but it's better than a, I don't know, land is fine, but there are probably other draws that aren't great. Okay, let's counter you. Come at me, brah. Vorinclex. Man, I really wish I could play this and then use this ability. I guess I could turn Timber Symbiosis. Oh, baby. Let's go. Why wouldn't we? Throw a party for myself. Alright, Decisive Denial, Quandrix Command. I love the Seagate Restoration idea, too. This one's way more exciting, though, with a Vorinclex on the field, but if I whiff, it's so bad. It's so bad if I whiff. Let's do the Seagate. Drawing cards is awesome.
Every action has led to this moment.
And we have a Disdainful Stroke to defend. And we wait. We're definitely winning a long game now. No reason to panic. Disdainful Stroke, the Inkcaster. Have you had enough pain? I want the Body of Research. Sounds really kinky when I say it that way, doesn't it? Alright. +2. Not needed.
Consider all possibilities.
Allrun's Epiphany. You. This becomes a 4/4. I guess they don't have great blocks for it. And we don't want to attack with you and turn you into a 4/4. Too risky. Oh, we thick. The thickness. Come on, let's get down with the thickness. They found the good block, but we get to take out the priest, so. Oh, and they're dead. Boo! Boo! No Body of Research with double counters was had that day. Rankle. Rankle versus Quandrix. Quandrix is just a little bigger. Just a little bigger. Tough hand. But it works. My reject costs 3, but that's still in time for Rankle. I guess we keep. Serpent has reach. That's nice. Let's at least wait. Yeah, let's wait till next turn. Then we can play the Serpent. Decisive Denial also costs an extra mana, but here's my Stone Coil. A has creature on battlefield. Foretell. The heck does that mean? Legendary creature becomes a god, put a counter on it. Well, that doesn't work with my Stone Coil, does it? We just play the Hydra for 1? We can hold open Denial or Reject here and play it slow. I guess that's fine. That's fine. Which nonsense will the opponent do first? Nighthawk Scavenger. Ugh. But, if I fight it, it is fight, right? The Death Touch gets it, and I can't counter it here. If I Veil it, it doesn't survive. Ooh, do I have to reject this? How am I going to fight later? I guess I can fight after putting a counter on the Veil. That's a tough one. Ooh, we get this on time, but if we play it... Oh yeah, we can play it, and if the opponent plays the Rankle, we Veil this and block. That's what we do. Also, if the opponent tries to kill the Pilferer, we can Veil it. Really weird game so far. Skull Raid from the Foretell Zone. I will draw a card. Discard 2 cards. Let's see. The Hydra is interesting with the castle. The Denial isn't doing anything here so far, and it's pretty tough to cast. But the Hydra, I also don't really want to pump all my mana into. I think I just want to hit my land drop. Since I'm relying on the Hall of Oracles for my blue mana, we need more mana than expected. And they foretell again, which is nice, meaning the Pilferer will probably get more cards. Ooh, Command Tower. So now we have blue. We can play TANAZIR. The opponent really needs to kill it, but if we wait a turn, we'll have Veil to go with it. We can't use the Garenbrig to play it because it has blue in the cost. So I think we wait another turn, but we definitely want this on the battlefield. So let's stick to our plan from last turn. I'm surprised they foretold a card after they saw the Pilfer, so maybe they have a way to kill it. Target opponent sacrifices a creature. Rude. Well, they don't have the mana now to play the Rankle. So we can give this up. Attack first. Here comes my dragon. This is my dragon. It doubled the counters. Are you impressed? Terrid Shadow. All right, so first of all, we get to draw. Nice. Then we get to look at our negate, sadly, as we have to sacrifice 2 creatures here. The opponent has used all sacrifice effects, which seems like a Tergrid deck, but they're a Rankle deck. So I'm a little confused, but it's working for him. So 7 mana, we could tap out here to play TANAZIR. Seems bad, so we'll just pass. The Shade, okay. Inscription of Ruin. Let's can we stop with the discarding? It's old. Old at this point, nobody likes it. Another land. We could hold it. Target creature, right? Yep, not permanent. We could play this and make them have another answer to it. We have a Disdainful Stroke and Snakeskin Veil. Let's see if they find another way to play around our counter magic, as they have with the Shadow and the Libation. All right. Annoying card, but not the end of the world. So we want 3 mana to fight over whatever. We want 2 mana to make this indestructible and a god. And And then we have 2 mana left over. So we'd have to take the shields down on one of those things to play Kesmina. But I guess that's what we want to do. We don't want to... I mean, we use this, we make this indestructible. We use the Veil to protect it from something else. Maybe saving Kesmina for another turn is actually the right play to make sure that Tanazir gets out of this turn cycle alive. Because without it, we just have nothing on the battlefield. It's a tragedy. Interesting. So this says indestructible. This doesn't make it indestructible. We have to put the counter on it and make it a god first. Then we have to use the Sanctum again to make it indestructible. So we're not blocking the Varigoth. Which means the opponent's going to get 1 free tutor. Mind Rot. Jesus! They are the worst. I hate this player so much. Alright. Let's see if we can we inspire some action from them? I don't know if I want the Stroke or the Veil. I mean, they might just not have spot removal, but if they do, it's probably cheap. I think I've got to get rid of these two. But my god, you're annoying. What did they do to you? What made you this way? Let's see if the opponent boasts. That would be nice. Then we can charge up Barons, potentially. Okay. Make your decision. Then I'm coming after you. Not gonna be gentle. You're gonna get hit for damage. They're probably going to get like a duress. Like they have 1 card left. I want to make sure I take that card too. So we're gonna punish them by hitting them in the face really hard. Alright, so first we want to do this. Then we want to do this. Hello. That sends a message, doesn't it? I mean, I said I was going to hit him in the face. Let's hit him. Decline, because we have a 6/6 here. Can also turn Vorinclex into a freaking god, which is... That's nice. Yeah, go ahead. Play your discard spell. I'll destroy you. Oh! I'll also destroy you for that, Professor Onyx. Now what? That's right. Make me discard my hand, I'll smash you. Smash you. That Vorinclex draw was sick. So slow hand, but we're on the play and we have Kozima. And I love Kozima. I might even play it as the Omen Keel. Our opponent also plays green and blue, so maybe it can curve us into Body of Research. Opponent impulses up. Oh, never mind. Drew the ghostly one. This card has been clutch today. Card has been sweet. Didn't realize, yeah, like playing the Adventure Beast will now cost you a card. Although attacking is awkward. We might still draw a Snarl, so let's play this on blue and play the God of the Voyage. I don't want to discard a card just to get in with the ghostly. Is this just mono green? Maybe. Maybe. Every turn that goes by, our Body of Research gets smaller. A less impressive body all the time. Draw a card. Ugh. 49. Just feel the countdown. Alright, take that action. Exile that. Let's start piling on some counters, shall we? Roar! Make a sweet 4/4. Ready to fight the God of Winter. So you've got your commander. Let's see what you're gonna do with it. I've often wondered what one does with Jorn. It does appear to be mono green so far. There's no hint of fetching a blue or black yet. So Jorn can untap 3 lands. And Jorn says, I didn't come here to not use my ability. I expect a variety of combat tricks and nonsense. So let's see what you got. I'll put you to the test right away. How does your deck work? Heroic Intervention. So you untap 2 lands, you untap 3 lands to spend 2 to be indestructible, and then you scoop. Okay then. Volgoria. Fun. The Thief of Heartbeats. If I were on the play, I'd rely on the Omen Keel to hit my land drops. This one has me nervous, but I like the idea of playing the Omen Keel so much, I'm going to give it a try. So we're probably going to get some critters on the field, some partying occurring. I don't know if we'll actually get to attack with the Omen Keel through that, but we'll give it a shot. If I draw another land off the top, I might just plan to play it as a 3-drop and play Quirion Dryad instead. Okay, the gods have spoken. Let's play the Quirion Dryad, which gets bigger whenever we play a blue spell. And we'll play the God of the Voyage next turn. Acquisitions Expert. What's with the discarding gamers? They're driving me crazy. Do you think we'll actually get to Ugin? Might be better to give up now. He just love making people discard cards. It's just, ooh, feels so good, man. Look at them. They had a card in their hand and now they don't. Feels so good. Take 2. Nice. Ogre Battle Driver. Give things +2/+0 in haste and happens to be a warrior. Which means this is now a 4-drop. That's pretty good. We're going to be under pressure very quickly. Very quickly. Let's Once Upon a Time first, since I know I want to do that. We might hit something better to play. Put those counters away. Feels bad. More blue, I guess, for Body of Research, as much as I like Crawling Barrens. And Scavenging Ooze. No attacks. This is gonna hurt. This is going to hurt. Ooh. Oh, Terror of the Peaks. I resign. All right, definitely doing this. That battle driver's got to go. Your dragon versus my dragon. All right, decline. Comes back with a counter, draw a card. Lofty Denial. You need a flyer, though, to make it work, so I guess I have to play you. Double the counters on the Dryad. Attack. Now we have a battlefield presence, but the Quandrix might just die for it, since the Terror of the Peaks is on the field. But then at least we have a counter attack. Gross. But this is 6 mana now. Let's see what else you've got. Shadow Spear on Terror of the Peaks. What is this world? No blocks. My counter attack is for a lot. They need to solve this dragon. Okay, they did not. Let's keep you. We're going to attack, and we're going to be ruthless about it. Take the action. 5/5 and 8/8 and 4/4. I don't know if your Shadow Spear is going to pull this off. So, we don't have enough to leave up Lofty Denial, play Wildwood Scourge, and play the Kraken, so let's I guess I should have played this pre-combat. So maybe I should just play the Scourge now. Since it's a little more mana efficient, gets a little bit bigger. It is a little bit bigger. And this can add some power and toughness next turn. Still think it was a mistake, but I think it does change the play. All right, you're at 12. You have a lifelinking Terror of the Peaks. You got 5 mana. What are you going to do? Rippling Fear. That only kills one thing. Only kills one thing. So if they go up to... They drop me a 6. They go up to 18. How much did this attack for last turn? 1, 2, 3, 4. I play this. Gets a counter. 5 becomes 6. Then it becomes 4 plus 5 is 9. Plus 5 is 14. Plus 4 is 18. I think I still win? Haha, didn't affect my dragon. Still being aggressive. I mean, pretty sure I got the Xaxes if I don't screw it up, but let's find out. We do have counterspell backup. We got this, which this is a god, so we can boost it up. The opponent GG's, so maybe they did the math. Nine, 14, 18 Xaxos. Xaxos. Awesome. That was a race. Shadow Spear Terror of the Peaks. Yikes. And we are back for the post-game wrap-up, and here are the stats powered by MTG Assistant, a free download. Just check the description for the link, and it does support the channel, so thank you very much for trying it out. And 5-0, crushing it. Small sample size. I will say that despite the amazing record, despite the undefeatedness of the deck, it's not really my style to try to put a bunch of +1/+1 counters on things. It's a little bit Timmy for me, and this is a bit fair Simic midrange when I could be running Coma or Uro. So for me, this is not the bee's knees. TANAZIR is the completion, or me trying to work on completing the Elder Dragon cycle, and it's pretty fun. Not a bad commander by any stretch of the imagination, but compared to the broken Simic commanders, really not there. This is definitely more of a fun and casual one. If you want to build a commander deck around this, it's definitely going to be a bit of a friendly deck, probably, compared to the broken things others can do. And when I say it's kind of fun and friendly, I'm the one over here running Mystical Dispute, Reject, Negate. You know, I'm getting rage scoops off of Lofty Denial. Okay, that's what I do over here. So if you wanted to build the deck and you wanted to cut those interactive pieces, which I find essential for success, but you wanted to be more of a all-in kind of nonsense kind of go for it, maybe you can shift this a lot harder to green, run things like Yorvo, run Hydra's Growth, run the Invigorating Surge, get more +1/+1 counters going, and just try to make huge monsters and swing with them. Like, that is a totally fine thing, and I think that's what TANAZIR is actually meant to do. If you run this list, you probably will have more success, which is good for Brawl playing online, but probably not quite as good for the local game store if you decide to go back out and do that. So that's my take on the deck and my advice for changing it, which is, if you're going to keep doing this one, I would go all in on the fun. I'd cut the counter spells and I would run the +1/+1 counters and just go nuts. Have at it. Otherwise, if you like the counters and you like kind of the mid-range gameplay, stick with Uro. Maybe mess around with Kinnan. That's probably a very broken commander that I still have to work with, and play with Coma. Like, they've got you. You will have no problem with those. Now, the next Elder Dragon on my list is going to be a doozy, because I've been playing with that one a lot. So I look forward to showing you what happens when Galazeth Prismari comes to Brawl, because that one I feel is a top-tier competitive Brawl commander. So I look forward to showing you that video in the near future. Thank you for watching this video. As always, I will see you in the next video. You're cool.